Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited as we are here on the 16th of December 2019 to talk about everything that went down tonight on Monday Night Raw. So before I say anything, I don't know if you guys read it, what I just wrote in the live chat. Just a heads up. Anybody who gives spoilers for next week's Raw in the live chat will be getting a timeout. You'll be timed out. You can't respond in the live chat for 300 seconds or whatever it is. If you do it more than once, you will be banned in the live chat. Just a heads up. This is a spoiler-free zone for next week's show. We don't want to give away any spoilers. We don't want anybody to be ruined for what's coming up next week. We'll have that in a separate video and a separate post on the website, PWUnlimited.co. So for now, please, no spoilers in the live chat as they are taping next week's Raw as we speak. If you do, you will be reprimanded. Just a heads up for anybody in the chat that was thinking to ask either questions about what's being taped or just to say something about it. I'm not going to answer any questions, and you will be reprimanded. Now, let's talk about tonight. Let's see who's with us in the live chat first, actually. We've got Fully Clutch, Gregory, Time to Wrestle with Suplexes, George Don Cox, Stoner Phoenix. We've got Woken King Slender, Sinclair Saturday, Jason Dalton, Wayne Montgomery, and hey, you may ask, Jason Dalton, Wayne Montgomery, how are their names green? How do they have little badges next to their name? That is because they are member subscribers. All you have to do to be a PW Unlimited member subscriber is go down there next to where it says subscribe and hit the button that says join. In doing so, you will be directly helping us out here on Pro Wrestling Unlimited. As a member, you get your name in green in the live chat and in comments. You also get a badge next to your name to show your loyalty to us here at PW Unlimited, and you get to use the special emojis that we have created for our members. You will also get early access to special videos that we do have coming out periodically, as one will be coming out this week early for member subscribers. So again, all you have to do to become member subscribers, go down there down to where it says subscribe and hit the button next to it that says join. Thank you to everybody who's already subscribed. Just looking at the live chat before we get going, want to let a couple more people jump in before we talk about Raw. Luke Might says, when will Johnny Gargano return to NXT? Who the hell knows, but thank you for the super chat donation. And if you want to make sure that your question gets read on the air tonight, you can do so by sending a super chat or a super sticker donation. All you have to do that is hit the $sign button down there where you enter in your stuff in the chat. You can donate, and your question will be read on the air. Also, if you want to let us know what you thought about tonight's Monday Night Raw, you can do so by texting to 510-906-1341. We will not be taking phone calls tonight, only text messages. So send them in. Again, the number is 510-906-1341. The number is in the live chat and will flash periodically on the screen. But enough of me jibber-jabbering. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of everything and talk about tonight's Monday Night Raw. So, they started everything by recapping Seth Rollins and AOP aligning last week to take on Kevin Owens, not even recapping anything that happened at last night's TLC pay-per-view. No, they said, fuck TLC, the big thing we've got is Seth Rollins. So started off with Seth Rollins making his way to the ring. He then introduced the two men who chose to live on the right side of history, the AOP. Rollins claimed that when he made his debut, he was labeled the future. It wasn't just two people that thought he was the future. It was everybody. And all of a sudden, the mood then changed, and people started to question his leadership. Rollins pointed out that being a leader isn't about being cool. It's about making decisions for progress. The fans gave Rollins a slight cheer. He noted Kevin Owens had a hard time understanding that. He's the leader, and people need to accept it. So my question is, the storyline on Raw and the storyline on SmackDown all revolve around who's the leader. On SmackDown, is Corbin or Roman the locker room leader? And on Raw, it's they don't say locker room leader, but it's basically the same thing. Who's the leader of the roster? So Rollins pointed out that being a leader is something that he has experience in doing. He promised to drag the people into 2020, and if anyone resisted, the AOP would take care of them. Rollins promised that he was going to settle the score tonight and do something that he felt that he had to do, but knew that when he did it, the fans weren't going to like it. He said, "I'm sorry in advance." Ruben Rodriguez, thank you for becoming a member here on the PW Unlimited YouTube channel. Greatly appreciate your subscription. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So then going forward, Vic Joseph, Jerry Lawler, and Samoa Joe discussed Rollins in the AOP. They wondered, what score does Rollins have to settle? Joe stressed that AOP is dangerous, and those are guys that he'd ride with. Was that foreshadowing? Maybe? Was Joe going to join them? I don't know. So going forward, we had the Viking Raiders come out, and they were taking on the OC. Before the match, Carl Anderson admitted that the Viking Raiders were the most destructive tag team in years. However, there's been one team that's gotten the best of them, and it's the OC, Gallows and Anderson, because they are the official, the only. I always fucking forget this. What is it? I never write it down either. They are the only official. What's the third O? Let me know in the chat, guys. What's the third O again? Original. I think I got it. Official. The only official original club. That's what it is. Gallows also said that, yeah, we're also the best tag team in the world. Yeah, the trophy to prove it. This match started out with the Raiders isolating Anderson on their side of the ring. Eric picked up Ivar and slammed him on top of Anderson for a near fall. Eric then followed up with a delayed vertical suplex for another near fall. Anderson poked Eric in the eye, and Gallows took over as he got the tag. Eric rocked Gallows with a forearm, which sent him to the floor. He attempted a suicide dive, but Gallows caught him with an uppercut. Gallows followed up with a follow-away slam into the barricade. Back from the break, Anderson was firmly in control with a chin lock. Eric fought back, and Gallows got the tag. He slowed down the pace again with another chin lock. Anderson then attempted a back suplex, but Eric flipped over and landed on his feet. These fucking Viking Raiders. You would think, for as bigger of a guys that they are, they should be able to do half the stuff that they can do. Eric barely landed on his feet, but still very impressive. Ivar got the hot tag and ran wild. He missed a splash in the corner, and Anderson hit a neck breaker. The heels hit a back suplex neck breaker combo for a near fall. Ivar fought back and hit a handspring elbow on both Anderson and Gallows. The Raiders followed it up with a suicide dive to the floor. Excuse me. After another commercial break, the OC were back in control and isolated Ivar on their side of the ring. Ivar eventually rocked Anderson with a big boot and made the tag to Eric. Eric rocked Gallows with a suplex and a knee. Eric picked up Ivar and threw him into Gallows for a near fall. Eric rocked Gallows off the apron, or knocked Gallows off the apron, but Anderson made the blind tag nobody saw. Anderson then went for the running knee, but Eric caught him in a powerbomb. Eric then attempted a moonsault, but Gallows pulled Anderson out of the ring. Anderson knocked Eric out of the ring with a boot. The OC then hit the Magic Killer on Ivar and picked up yet another victory. Yes, another victory over the Viking Raiders. This is the second victory, or the second time that they've pinned the Viking Raiders since November, I want to say, was Crown Jewel. So one would think the OC getting that tag title shot, whether that's next week or at Royal Rumble, we'll see. I mean, Royal Rumble's 6 weeks away, so that's going to be a lot of time to build this up if they need to, which they really don't need to build it up. You could essentially do this tag title match next week if they wanted to. So the commentators talked about Eric Rowan and his cage. During an interview, Rowan talked about his loved ones. In the back, AJ, Gallows, and Anderson celebrated the victory. Styles promised to defeat Randy Orton later tonight. He told Anderson and Gallows to stay in the back. Styles wants to defeat Orton, defeat Orton on his own. Gotcha. Time to wrestle with suplexes. Crown Jewel is October 31st. So basically November. Wayne Montgomery says, do you think that the crowd was dead or did they have the volume low? I thought they sounded all right tonight. I didn't notice anything like different than a normal Raw crowd, to be completely honest. So going forward, Eric Rowan defeated Dante Leon in a quick squash match. Rowan chased Dante around ringside. He crawled under the ring, got too close to Rowan's cage. Rowan caught him. 2 choke slams, victory. Because remember, if he would have hit that 3rd choke slam, he would have made this match a no contest, as we learned last week. 3 of them choke slams, and the ref just calls the match. So you got to do 2 and then pick up the victory. Charlie Caruso interviewed Andrade and Zelina Vega in the back. A lot of this was Andrade and Zelina in Spanish. Andrade is competing in a gauntlet match later tonight, where the winner will take on the United States champion. Andrade promised to win and defeat Humberto Carrillo. So then we got another Liv Morgan vignette. This one was very interesting. She was in a bathroom, looking in a mirror, and she said that people or friends always told her what to do, how to act, and how to dress. But now she needs to think for herself. She knows who she is, and she needs to bring that person out. She says she basically needs to self-destruct to become who she really is. So this is going to be very interesting. And remember last week when they said the Liv Morgan makeover is coming. So I think this may not be a direct just rehashing of what they wanted to do with Emelina, but a newer vision, I should say. A newer vision of what they wanted for Emelina that kind of fits more of Liv Morgan. So we'll see how it goes. Emelina thing didn't work. Hopefully this new Liv Morgan works, because they're not changing her name, so that's good. She's still just Liv Morgan instead of Emma getting changed to Emelina. I mean, we don't want Livalina, do we? I don't think anyone wants to hear Livalina. I liked the vignette though. I thought it was very straightforward to what, we're supposed to know about her and her new character. So next up, Bobby Lashley and Lana celebrated their victory at TLC. Well, Bobby's victory. Bobby and Lana came down to the ring. Lana bragged about her hot, and beautiful boyfriend defeating Rusev. Fans broke out in a Rusev Day chant, and Lana basically told them all to shut up. Rusev Day is dead. Lana wants the world to know how much she loves, or how much Bobby loves her. Fans chanted, Bobby sucks. Lana screamed, he doesn't suck. Lana then pulled out a ring and asked Lashley she literally said, I want you to ask me to marry you. She tried to hand him the ring, but when he takes it, he goes, I don't know. I don't know if I like being told what to do. Well, unless it's from you. He then got down on one knee, and he proposed. Lana said, yeah, you did it just like we rehearsed. And Vic Joseph goes, wait, did she just say rehearsed? And so they're gonna get married. Lashley said they're gonna be the most powerful power couple ever. And yeah, I assume from what I heard, in 2 weeks is the wedding on the 30th. I assume Rusev crashes the wedding, and then we go forward with the feud still going. I mean, what was the last wedding in WWE that went smooth? Can anybody let me know in the chat or the comments the last WWE wedding that went smoothly, that somebody didn't crash or that there wasn't some sort of an interruption? Nah, fuck. I think if they do this like I've heard on the 30th, the last Raw before the end of the year, I expect Rusev is just going to come and crash the party, crash the wedding, screw it all up. So next up was the United States Championship gauntlet match. R-Truth came out first. He told the fans that he's going to win the title for them. And then he'll be the United States / 24/7. What did he say? 24/7, 4800, 7-Eleven, European, I-95 South champion. He said more, but I thought it was funny. He was like I-95 South champion. Mr. 84, before I go any further, you really think Lana is going to allow Bobby just to take her to Vegas? Lana's going to want a big old celebration that everything revolves around her and the spotlight's on her and the cameras are on her. No. Lana is not going to want some drive-up chapel wedding. So we got R-Truth and Akira Tozawa starting things off. Truth came out wearing his 24/7 title, like I stated. He then talked about how he wouldn't be where he is if it wasn't for his idol, his hero, John Cena. He said, when I was a young wee lad, I used to watch John Cena in his United States Championship Open Challenge on Saturday mornings. He's like, and now, I am going to be the champ. So, he then pointed at the WrestleMania sign. He said, I'm going to take both belts to WrestleMania. And he points, and then he realizes, hey, there's no sign. So he puts his finger down, and he pretends like he didn't do it. Truth and Tozawa traded shots back and forth early. Truth missed a charge into the corner, and Tozawa hit a cannonball off the apron. Tozawa followed up with a missile dropkick for a near fall. Tozawa avoided an axe kick and rolled up Truth for the victory, and they continue the gauntlet. And as Truth got out of the ring, all the 24/7 geeks came out to chase him. Next up was Ricochet. These two had a fun match. Ricochet gained the advantage with a dropkick. Tozawa recovered and hit 2 suicide dives in a row. Ricochet fought back and rocked Tozawa with hard chops. Ricochet locked on a unique submission hold and scored the near fall. They then had a heated exchange of moves. Tozawa attempted a German suplex, but Ricochet landed on his feet. Tozawa avoided a shot from Ricochet and hit a second German suplex. Ricochet then made a comeback and hit a springboard clothesline. Ricochet attempted a standing shooting star press, but Tozawa got his knees up. Tozawa climbed to the top, but Ricochet recovered. Tozawa jumps off the top rope. Ricochet moves out of the way, and the finish comes with the recoil. So Ricochet moves on, and out would come Matt Hardy. Here's my question. When they announced this gauntlet match, they said these are 6 of the best superstars on Monday Night Raw. Matt Hardy. He hasn't wrestled in how long? Comes back and loses twice. I mean, Tozawa's great, but he's been fucking losing too. Where's Drew McIntyre? Anyways, Hardy hit a side effect immediately for a very close near fall. He was firmly in control and hit a suplex for another near fall. Ricochet tried fighting back, but Hardy hit a back body drop for a 2. Hardy slowed down the pace and worked over Ricochet's neck. Ricochet tried fighting back, but Hardy hit a huge powerbomb for a close near fall. Ricochet fought back with a rolling drop kick. Ricochet followed that up with the springboard clothesline that Hardy actually countered into a side effect for a near fall. Hardy then missed a moonsault. Ricochet hit a standing moonsault for a 2. Hardy then attempted a twist of fate, but Ricochet just rolled him up and picked up the victory. So up next would be Humberto Carrillo and Humberto versus Ricochet. So much fun. So much fun. By this point, this was Ricochet's 3rd match, and he was exhausted. Carrillo approached and offered a handshake, helping Ricochet to his feet. Ricochet shook his hand, but rolled up Carrillo, trying to go get that quick flash victory. Carrillo then sent Ricochet to the floor and followed it up with a twisting dive, wiping him out. Carrillo worked over Ricochet's arm, which Tozawa had worked over earlier. Carrillo slowed down the pace and continued to work the arm. Ricochet fought back and attempted a handspring elbow. Carrillo then kicked him in the injured arm. Carrillo went back to working over Ricochet's arm. On commentary, Jerry Lawler asked Samoa Joe, "Do you know the term babyface?" And then stated that Humberto Carrillo's face is of a classic babyface. Joe responded that Carrillo Got some nice dimples. Ricochet made a comeback and hit a sunset flip for a near fall. Ricochet followed it up with a Death Valley driver for a 2. Zelina Vega would then make her way out to the top of the ramp. After a break, Ricochet rocked Carrillo with some hard chops, followed up the springboard clothesline in a shooting star press. Ricochet then missed a pump kick and got caught up in the ropes. Carrillo followed it up with a missile drop kick for a near fall. Carrillo then missed a moonsault but landed on his feet. Ricochet rolled through and hit a big boot. Ricochet charged at Carrillo and both men fell to the floor hard. They teased a double countout, but both men made it back into the ring. Ricochet then charged at Carrillo, but Carrillo got to his feet. He climbed to the top, but Ricochet cut him off. Carrillo and Ricochet then traded shots on the top turnbuckle. Ricochet won the exchange and hit a superplex for a very close near fall. They then traded hard shots in the middle of the ring. Ooh, sorry about that. They then traded hard shots in the middle of the ring. Ricochet hit a Northern Lights suplex and rolled through into a vertical suplex for another near fall. Carrillo then attempted a reverse Rana off the top, but Ricochet landed on his feet. They had a heated exchange and Carrillo scored a near fall. Finally, Carrillo would hit a big moonsault on Ricochet. Boom, picked up the victory, moving on to the final match against Andrade. Andrade then jumped Carrillo from behind and beat him down. He exposed the concrete floor under the mats, and Andrade tossed Carrillo into the barricade. He continued to beat him down, and Andrade hit a hammerlock DDT to Carrillo on the concrete. This would then bring out the United States champion Ricochet, who made the save. Andrade and Vega took off through the crowd before Ricochet could get to them. So we come back from the break, and Humberto Carrillo was taken away by the medical staff on a stretcher. As medical personnel took Carrillo away, the music of Seth Rollins would hit. Rollins and the ALP would make their way down to the ring. Rollins was holding the lead pipe in his hand that Rey had given to Kevin Owens last week. Mysterio tried to fight them off, but the ALP overpowered him. Rollins pointed out that pipe belonged to him, and he was giving it back. Rollins said that he's a merciful leader, so tonight is Rey's lucky night. He teased walking away, leaving Rey just laying on the mat, but instead gave him a curb stomp for his trouble. So is it just me, or is this new Seth Rollins, is the character something akin of like, I don't want to say a mobster per se, more like a biker gang leader? That's and not just because he's wearing a leather jacket, but is it just me, or is his character kind of coming off like a biker gang leader kind of deal? And not in a bad, cheesy way either. Like a almost Sons of Anarchy way. Stephen Florence, he says, remake the U.S. belt? Actually, that may be coming sooner than you think. So in the back, Charlie Caruso approached Seth Rollins in the ALP. He explained that he's the leader, and he leads by example. He said the real question is, why didn't he put Rey Mysterio in the hospital? Well, it said that is because I'm going to challenge Mysterio for the U.S. title, and I want that match next week. So then we got Asuka against the Monday Night Raw debuting the virtuosa Deonna Purrazzo. Now, I don't know 100% if this is a full call-up for Deonna or if it's a one-off, but if it was just a one-off, they wouldn't have given her a video package. So I believe that we may have seen a call-up tonight. Don't quote me on that. I don't know 100% if it's a call-up, but hey, we'll see how it goes. I'm not going to give a spoiler. This is not a spoiler, but another NXT superstar will be wrestling on next week's Monday Night Raw as well. So when Asuka made her way down to the ring, Kairi Sane came out with her, but did not walk down the ramp, went straight back to the back. I don't even know why she needed to come out in the first place. So before the crowd seemed really dead at this point, like they were not really too into this. But Asuka then nailed Purrazzo with some hard kicks to start the match, and the crowd eventually got into this. It may have been that maybe they just didn't know who Deonna Purrazzo was. But Purrazzo made a comeback and locked on an armbar. Asuka rolled through for a near fall. Asuka locked on an armbar and transitioned into a knee bar and then an STF. Asuka missed a spinning back fist, and Purrazzo chopped Asuka's face first and then went for a pin, 2 count. Asuka fought back and rocked Purrazzo with the rapid-fire kicks. Asuka then locked on the Asuka lock for the victory. Deonna Purrazzo looked good tonight. She got more offense than I expected. I expected Asuka to come out here and just completely squash her. But she got way more offense than I expected. So again, that's another factor on why I think maybe it was a call-up, but I don't know for sure. So they send it to a exclusive interview with the Raw Women's Champion, Becky Lynch. Charlie Caruso asked her about her loss last night to the Kabuki Warriors. Lynch said that she's not feeling like herself, and she hasn't for the last couple of months. She said that she's been relegated to the tag team division, and she thought maybe that the powers that be wanted to bury her. She then realized that she's this company's golden goose, that she is the one at all the appearances. She is the one at all the meet and greets, and that everyone wants to pay to see her, and that if she loses the belt, maybe that can't happen anymore, and that WWE is afraid to put her up against Asuka. Lynch pointed out that she knows that Asuka right now is the better woman in the WWE, probably the best woman in the WWE, and Becky needs to face her. Becky said, not for this company, not for this belt, but for myself. I need to face and beat Asuka. And that's been the plan for months now. Asuka versus Becky Lynch for the title at Royal Rumble. Becky most likely retaining that belt. Again, I'm going to say it. If this was me, Becky would retain. Shayna Baszler would win the Rumble. Boom, there's your Mania match for the Raw Women's title. So in the back, Rey Mysterio cut a promo. He said that Andrade's actions against the young rising Latin star Humberto Carrillo, he didn't like that, and he'll take care of Andrade eventually. But then he turned his attention to Rollins and accepted Rollins' challenge next week, saying he said it'll be me and you one-on-one, but didn't say if the title was on the line. Seth asked for the title to be on the line, but Rey didn't say if the title was on the line. So I'm waiting for WWE to make that official announcement. And then we move on to the main event. I do have some text messages, though, before we do move on to that main event. This person here says, I thought tonight's show was decent, but the segment of Lana and Bobby Lashley was garbage. Here's my thing. Don't be shocked if, the Bobby Lashley-Lana segment was bad. But don't be shocked if it does good YouTube numbers, because for some goddamn reason, they always do good YouTube numbers. This person thought Raw was trash tonight. This person says, is it true Hangman Page teaming with Omega versus the Lucha Bros this week on AEW Dynamite is going to be the opener and is commercial free? That is what I've heard. And this person here says, I was thinking about your Kevin Owens Royal Rumble prediction last night. Do you think he'll win and face Brock at Mania and win, or were you thinking different? No, that's what I was thinking. I don't know if Kevin Owens will win against Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, but I think Brock versus Kevin Owens with Owens winning the Rumble is a very good possibility. Let's see, you've got one more text message coming in. Let me let that load. Sorry about that noise in the background, guys. Got a train tracks right by my apartment, and the train's going by. Usually goes by around 8:30 or 9, almost every night, without question. All right, this text message is loaded. It said, well, there's two of them. This person asked if they're doing Slammies. No, they haven't done Slammies for a couple of years now. And this one said, oh, never mind, didn't want to load. But also, before we talk about the main event, we got to talk about our sponsor. The sponsor for this video is My Medic. And why won't this load? There we go. For some reason, things do not want to load today. My Medic is here to keep you safe in all types of situations. Everybody bleeds. There isn't a single person who doesn't need first aid now and then. There's no better way to keep yourself, your family, your friends, your pets, your coworkers, your enemies, or anybody prepared, more prepared than having a first aid kit handy. But not just any first aid kit. A kit jam-packed with only the best supplies this earth has to offer. Whether you want a first aid kit for your car, your house, your boat, your trailer, your range bag, your office, or even in your pocket, My Medic has you covered. My Medic has kits for every situation, for everyone. My Medic prepares you for those unexpected moments. Order now with a link in the description below. And not only will you be supporting us here at PWUnlimited, but you will also get 10% off of your next order. My Medic has you covered for every situation that life throws at you to keep you safe. Again, My Medic does have all the greatest, best types of first aid kits you will ever need, will ever think of. The safest Christmas tree on the planet is My Medic. Again, use the link in the description below to support us here at PWUnlimited and to get 10% off your purchase. So the main event of Monday Night Raw was Randy Orton versus AJ Styles with a little bit of a wonky looking finish. So Styles backed Orton in the corner early and rocked him with some hard chops. Orton fought back and attempted an RKO, but Styles avoided it. Orton recovered and dropped Styles on the apron. Styles attempted a springboard move, but Orton pushed him off. Orton followed it up with a draping DDT, but Styles reversed into a calf crusher. Orton tried to make it to the ropes, but Styles pulled him back into the middle of the ring. Styles locked on the hold again, but Orton finally made it to the ropes to break the hold. Styles then sprinted around ringside and caught Orton with a vicious-looking chop block. After a commercial break, Styles continued to work over Orton's leg. Orton fought back and dropped Styles onto the top rope. Styles went back to the injured knee, but Orton nailed a power slam to regain control. Orton followed this up with a backbreaker for a near fall. Orton then set up a superplex, but Styles slipped out and pulled Orton down. Styles hit another chop block on Orton's injured leg. Styles hit the Lionsault for a close 2 count. Styles went for a Styles Clash, but Orton sent Styles to the apron. Orton then hit a draping DDT and set up for an RKO. Styles went for a calf crusher again, but Orton kicked free. Styles then went for the phenomenal forearm. Orton set up for an RKO. Styles then stopped himself from hitting the phenomenal forearm. Went for it a second time, and Orton hit him with an RKO. And I didn't like the way this looked. So Styles starts to pull himself up for a phenomenal forearm. So Randy just leaps up off of his feet. Comes back down, lands on his leg, sells the knee they've been working on the whole match. AJ then does the phenomenal forearm. AJ hits him with the RKO. Bada boom. Why did you need to do it twice? To sell the knee? It didn't go into play at the end there. So I didn't get that at all. After the match, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows did jump the victorious Randy Orton. Viking Raiders ran down to make the save. The OC overpowered them and beat down the Faces, as that was tonight's Monday Night Raw. So yeah, that was a pretty good Raw. Next week's Raw will be a pre-tape show. The show is being filmed. It might actually be done by now. We will have spoilers up here on YouTube and on our website, PWUnlimited.co. So if you do want to know what happens next week now, we'll have that up for you shortly. But with that, I want to say thank you to everybody who did listen and follow us live here tonight, or everyone who watched and listened later right here on YouTube, and to everybody who listened last week, everybody that listens on podcast services all around the world like iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and so many more. Not sure if we're doing the PWUnlimited podcast this week. Nick's computer's not working, so he's not able to connect to me. I'm not doing episode 100 without him, so that podcast, unfortunately, is on the back burner right now. But I will for sure be back Wednesday night. And I'm not sure if we're going to do NXT Wednesday or AEW Wednesday. We might do NXT Wednesday and hold AEW till Thursday. I'm going to contemplate this because there may be something huge happening on NXT that I want to talk about first, not wait. So with that, we will be back Wednesday after AEW and NXT. I wish I could just do them both together, but I can't watch both at the same time and get the accurate analysis that I would need. So because I'll miss something. So again, I wish I could do them both at the same time. Not really possible unless I do it like way later. So we'll see you guys maybe tomorrow. Not looking good, but for sure Wednesday night. Have a good night, guys.